What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and Merry Christmas. Now, today I have some huge news that I really want you to be aware of. I think this is extremely important. Earlier today, I made a mistake. Yesterday, I made a mistake. That's my mistake. I want to fix that. I'm going to fix it right here. Earlier today and yesterday, I told you that President Trump has until December 31st to sign or veto this stimulus bill and government funding bill. That was incorrect. That was my fault. This is wrong because the president has 10 days from the day after he receives the bill, any bill, to sign it or veto the bill or just forget about it, and it becomes law after 10 days. So, if we do the math, President Trump received the bill yesterday. He received the bill yesterday. So that means President Trump has from today and 10 days from today to sign this bill before it becomes law. Here's the big issue. It's a big issue because being that President Trump has until 10 days from today, that means in 10 days, he has until technically January 4th to sign this bill or veto this bill. Here's the issue. Any bill that isn't passed before the current Congress ends their year, it actually dies with this current Congress. So here's what you need to understand. This current Congress is done. The 116th Congress is done on January 3rd. So yes, one day before President Trump has to sign the bill, January 3rd, that's when Congress is done, the current Congress. The new Congress comes in on January 4th. On the 4th. So what you need to understand is that right now, being that President Trump can wait a full 10 days and do absolutely nothing, which is actually a pocket veto, what that means is right now, President Trump doesn't have to do a thing. And this bill will die on January 3rd with the current Congress, and they will have to bring it up for a revote on January 4th. That's huge. That is huge. This changes everything regarding stimulus. Everything. Here's the reason why. There's multiple reasons why. Here's one of them. Republicans will have more seats in the House than they currently have right now. But Democrats will have more seats in the Senate than they currently have right now. Maybe only by 1 or 2, but they're going to have more. They will have more seats. So this is huge. This is the reason why the January 5th Georgia Senate runoff is so important at this point. A few days ago, it didn't matter. It did matter, but it wasn't such a big deal because we all anticipated the stimulus package would be done, would be finalized, would be signed off, and the American people would start receiving stimulus checks, unemployment benefits, maybe rental assistance, food assistance, PPP funding, vaccine funding. We would have received all that stuff already, or started to. But now, being that there were delays, there were printing delays, according to multiple reports, what does that mean? It just opens up the door to so many more possibilities. Also, what you need to understand is the current change of power. There could be a huge change in power, and that is in the Senate. That's in the Senate. Mitch McConnell might not be the leader of the Senate, the majority leader. He might be the minority leader, but we don't know. We won't know that until January 5th. But that's one day after President Trump is supposed to, or actually 2 days after, President Trump really is supposed to sign this bill. So here's the big issue, okay? The biggest thing to happen over the past 24 hours is President Trump received the bill 3 days late. 3 days later than he should have. That's huge. Those 3 days were critical. Again, according to reports, this was due to printer issues. I think they've printed enough bills lately. There shouldn't really have been any printer issues. A 3-day issue with a printer? I don't think so. My printer could have done this in 3 days. Now, it wouldn't have been on parchment paper. I'm not dumb enough to, put anything on parchment paper. That's just me. Now, according to multiple reports and President Trump's Twitter feed, he still is demanding larger stimulus checks. Many people right now expect President Trump to actually just veto this bill or just not sign it. That's what they're expecting right now. What I can tell you, early today, President Trump, this is what he had to say on Twitter. He made many calls. Well, let me just read what he said. He wrote, made many calls and had meetings at Trump International in Palm Beach, Florida. Why would politicians not want to give people $2,000 rather than only $600? It wasn't their fault. It was China. Give our people the money. That's what he said. So he is still demanding $2,000 stimulus checks. The likelihood of a $2,000 stimulus check passing through the current House and Senate is not as likely as many people think it is. What I can tell you is the $2,000 stimulus checks passing through the House and the Senate after the current Congress ends and the new Congress comes in session, it's higher. It's much higher. So if we are going to get $2,000 stimulus checks, which we're going to get votes on it on Monday from the House, we probably won't get any votes on it through the Senate on Monday, or really any time, at least before January 5th. So that's big. This is big. This is huge. This simple printer issue. And I say printer issue because that's what we are hearing. It was just a printer issue, a malfunction, something like that. It took 3 days to fix. 3 days. This changes everything. It is because of this that most experts are anticipating President Trump called Steve Mnuchin to have him work with Mitch McConnell this weekend and get something done by Monday. President Trump, he wants to get this deal done by Monday, according to many reports. He does not want to wait. If he waits till Monday, that is 1 week after this bill was passed. That is about 4 days after he received the bill. That's a long enough time. The American people need some relief. And they need this relief quickly. Unemployment benefits? Tomorrow is the last day. Tomorrow is the last day. After that, it's done. It's done. Many people are going to lose their benefits. Millions of people will lose their benefits. It's not a good sign. So, we also know President Trump, he doesn't want to sign another continuing resolution. Well, who's going to vote on a continuing resolution tomorrow, or actually on Monday? The House. The House will. And on Monday, the government at 12:01 p.m., or actually 12:01 a.m., on Monday, or actually Tuesday, the government would shut down. So the government is still fully funded on Monday, December 28th, but on Tuesday, December 29th, the government shuts down, unless there's a continuing resolution. So who do you think is going to follow up the House's vote on a continuing resolution on Monday? Most likely the Senate. And President Trump does not want to sign another continuing resolution. He wants to sign the $1.4 trillion omnibus bill, which means right now he just wants to get some type of relief to the American people. He wants to pull out the wasteful spending, which technically the White House is the one that put a lot of that stuff in there. It's stuff that he's known about for a while. He's signed off on this wasteful spending for years, but it's just now that he's starting to realize, okay, we don't want to spend money on this. We want to give money back to the American people. If we take that roughly, it's like $40 billion that we're going to pretty much send abroad. If we take that $40 billion and give it to the American people, that's going to turn into a decent amount of money. $40 billion adds in about, I think it's like close to $200. It's about $200 in a stimulus check. $200. So we're at $600. If we add in that $40 billion, that's going to bring us to about, a $800 stimulus check. Okay, but then we don't send any money abroad. What President Trump wants right now is more stimulus checks to the American people, larger checks. That's what he wants. And he says, and based on reports, not he says, based on reports, he just wants a simple amendment. Just get a simple amendment done. Let's just do a simple amendment on Monday. Let's get it done. Let's get it passed through the House. Let's get it passed through the Senate. I will sign it, and the American people will be good to go. Okay. But what I can tell you is getting a simple amendment done with the House and the Senate, with Republicans and Democrats, is going to be much easier said than done. it's going to be difficult to pass without renegotiating more policies in the bill. It's going to be difficult simply because we know if Republicans give in to a $2,000 stimulus check, unemployment benefits would probably be pulled completely. And that's not good. Many Republican senators are currently saying, why would we give a stimulus check to people that are currently working? Why? You need to be on unemployment benefits. Well, here's the issue. Here's the issue that Democrats are saying, and some Republicans are saying this as well, is we need to give $2,000 stimulus checks to not just the people that are currently unemployed, but anybody that has been unemployed in the past, 7 months. Because they are technically since August. August is when the unemployment benefits just kind of went under. We got $300 stimulus checks, which is great. That lasted 6 weeks until mid-September. What about anybody that's been on unemployment since mid-September till now? What about them? And so that opens up the door to, okay, well, let's give $2,000 stimulus checks to anybody that's currently unemployed and anybody that has been unemployed since, let's say, September 15th. Again, this is just what people are talking about. These are the reports. That if you open up the door to let's renegotiate the $2,000 stimulus check, you renegotiate the unemployment benefits, you could renegotiate rental assistance, you can renegotiate food assistance, we can renegotiate a bunch of different things. And that's what makes this very tricky. Right now, what we know is that currently the House will vote on the NDAA, they'll vote on $2,000 stimulus checks, and they'll vote on a continuing resolution on Monday. But what's the Senate going to be doing? What will they be doing? What I can tell you right now, based on all the reports that we've been hearing, is that the likelihood of President Trump signing this bill, this current bill, for $900 billion with $600 stimulus checks, $300 per week in unemployment benefits for 11 weeks, $324 billion for small businesses, $82 billion for education, $16 billion for vaccine distribution, $10 billion for childcare, $10 billion, I believe 10 or 7 billion for broadband, all that stuff. The likelihood of him signing this bill is about 10 to 15%, according to reports. Now, the likelihood of President Trump signing a bill with some form of a modification, which means most likely an increase in stimulus checks. An increase. Most likely somewhere around the $1,200 to even $1,800 range. Not pushing all the way up to $2,000. The likelihood of that happening is closer to 45 to 55%, which is fairly good. But the likelihood of that happening before the January 5th Georgia Senate runoff election, that's not as likely. We don't have numbers there. And then the other thing is the likelihood of President Trump just absolutely doing nothing. Absolutely doing nothing. Which many people are saying is very possible that he does absolutely nothing until sometime in early January. The likelihood of him doing nothing is about 25 to 30%. 25 to 30%. What you need to understand is this, again, we do not have the numbers on what are the chances President Trump does absolutely nothing, Congress does absolutely nothing, and we see no stimulus checks, no stimulus package at all until the end of January. What's the likelihood of that happening? Right now, nobody knows. Nobody wants to report on what's the likelihood we do not see anything, because that's bad. That will be extremely bad for the American people. Again, unemployment benefits stop tomorrow. That's the last day. The federal eviction moratorium is done in 6 days. That won't be good. States have 6 days to use their CARES Act funding for COVID relief. They have 6 days to use it or lose it. So many states are struggling, are hustling, are pretty much just working as much as they can to get something done and provide some type of stimulus relief to their residents. It's not even targeted. It's not even really thought out. It's just, all right, we got to use this money quickly. Let's get it out. So it's not a great situation that we're currently in, but this is the situation that we're in. What I can tell you is right now, all lawmakers are struggling to get something done. They're struggling. They do not know what they can support. They do not know what they can do. The Problem Solvers Caucus is currently working on multiple different ideas. They're trying to figure out a way to provide them with some type of answer as to what do we do for the wasteful spending. What do we do with that? Because that's been in all these bills. What should we do? What should we expect? What could we offer President Trump? That's what the Problem Solvers Caucus is trying to work on. The hard thing with this right now is that, yes, this is Christmas. This is Christmas Day, which is it's a holiday. I'm still working, but that's just me. But this is a holiday. Our lawmakers, Congress, is currently on recess. They're back home with their families. Great. I think everybody should spend time with their family. After I'm done here doing this video, I'll go spend time with my family. But what you need to understand right now is that we don't have a lot of time. And this is what some lawmakers and the Problem Solvers Caucus is saying. We do not have a lot of time. President Trump needs to just sign this bill, and then we will start working on Monday. Sign the bill today. We will start working on Monday for a larger stimulus package to fix the spending that we are currently offering to other countries. We will see about state and local government funding, because that's important to Democrats. We will see about liability protections. That's something that the Problem Solvers Caucus has been working on for a while. And based on all the reports, we are getting closer to something that maybe Mitch McConnell could sign off on. But whether or not Nancy Pelosi likes that or not, that's what we don't know. So what I can tell you right now is we are getting more reports, but as I know more, I promise I'll share more. Right now, the hardest thing is we are going through a holiday, the biggest holiday of the year. And this is currently the big issue, is all these lawmakers want to be back home with their families, and I get it. But at the same time, while they're back home with their families, having a great Christmas meal, opening presents under the tree, probably spending, time with all their loved ones, not just their immediate family, the American people are suffering. They have no presents under a tree because some can't afford the tree. Some can't afford the presents. They're not having an incredible Christmas dinner because, well, who are they going to invite over? And if they can't afford the tree or the presents, they probably can't afford the great meal to have on Christmas Day. So that's what I know right now. As I know more, I promise I'm going to share more. I'm probably not going to do another video today. I don't anticipate any breaking news or big updates, but I will come back on tomorrow, kind of fill you in what we know, probably tomorrow morning, what we hear over the night, and also early in tomorrow morning. So make sure you come back then. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. Thank you for watching. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys on the next one.